petrol or diesel? Can you even call yourself a car guy if you own a diesel? This is an age-old question that has been debated within the world of automobiles for years. And in today's episode, we will break it down for you and finally answer this question once and for all. Let's begin. The origins of diesel. In 1897, a German inventor and mechanical engineer named Rudolf Diesel created the first-ever diesel engine prototype. These engines were perfectly built for powering large machinery due to their number one benefit, the efficiency at converting fuel into energy. Initially it was used only for industrial purposes such as trains and ships. It was only in the 1930s that diesel engines started to be seen in cars, more specifically in trucks and larger commercial vehicles thanks to their high efficiency and torque. Fast forward 50 years later in the 1970s, and you were able to find diesel engines in passenger cars. They were especially common in Europe during the oil crisis since they were really efficient. Why were diesel engines created for cars? Diesel engines were introduced in passenger cars and trucks for many different reasons. They are more rugged and reliable. There is no need to spark the fuel in order for it to burn as it ignites under pressure, further reducing the costs. But the main and biggest reason why diesel engines were introduced to cars and trucks was due to their efficiency. Diesel engines can go further on less fuel compared to a petrol engine. This is especially useful in long-distance driving or industries like trucking. The diesel engine changed the game completely. One other factor that influenced the popularity of the diesel engine was that diesel was cheaper. It doesn't really apply in today's economy anymore, but in the early days of the diesel engine, diesel was far less cheaper than petrol, which, along with the other benefits, made it a great decision from a financial point of view. How do diesel and petrol differ chemically? Disclaimer: this section might get a little geeky, so try and keep up if you can. Petrol and diesel are both hydrocarbons, a compound of hydrogen and carbon. Petrol primarily contains alkanes, cycloalkanes, and alkenes. All of these hydrocarbons have shorter chains of carbon, molecularly speaking, making petrol lighter and less dense. Diesel fuel, on the other hand, has longer, heavier hydrocarbon chains including paraffins, olefins, aromatics, and naphthenes. The longer molecular structure increases the density and viscosity, which means it flows more slowly than petrol. The way they ignite is also very different. A petrol engine needs some sort of spark or flame to ignite since it is really flammable. But diesel, on the other hand, is less flammable and does not simply ignite from a spark. It only ignites under compression. As a piston compresses the air in the cylinder of the engine, the air gets really hot. Diesel is then sprayed into the really hot air, and that causes the fuel to ignite. This is what allows diesel engines to have more torque and better fuel efficiency. What are the main advantages of a diesel car? At the top of the list, we definitely have to put fuel efficiency. In general, diesel engines are about 20 to 30% more fuel efficient than petrol engines, making them a great choice for many drivers that have long distances to traverse. One of the biggest strengths of the diesel engine is its high torque output. The pulling power of the diesel engine is far greater than that of a petrol engine, especially on steep inclines, which makes them the perfect candidate for trucks and SUVs. Whether you're hauling trailers or boats, a diesel engine is sure to handle the job more effortlessly than a petrol engine. Along with that higher towing power, diesel engines have a longer lifespan. They are built to withstand higher pressures and stresses. Due to the way diesel combusts, the components of the engine are more robust. If the engine is maintained properly, it can run for hundreds of thousands of kilometers. One engine that is known to run over 500,000 kilometers is the 3.0 V6 diesel engine from the 2007 Audi Q7, but other diesel engines have been known to go even close to 1 million kilometers. Another overlooked advantage of the diesel engine is the higher resale value. Due to the higher durability and lifespan, they tend to keep their value far better than petrol cars. This is an important factor to consider if you only plan to keep your car for a couple of years. Every advantage has its disadvantages, and the diesel engines are no different. While they do have higher resale value, they also have a higher upfront cost than petrol. While fuel savings can offset this over time, it is still a major barrier for someone who is on a budget. Another disadvantage of a diesel engine is the higher maintenance cost and, God forbid, the repairs. Since these engines are more complex than petrol engines, the bill racks up quickly if something goes wrong. A final disadvantage of the diesel engine is its poor performance in cold weather. Once again, due to the way diesel ignites, these engines are known for being harder to start in cold weather. This issue has been reduced in newer models with the introduction of injection systems, but the older models still suffer from this problem. What are the main advantages of petrol engines? One of the main advantages of the petrol engine and the reason people buy these cars is the higher performance. Petrol engines are lighter and rev higher. This is what makes them desirable for sports car manufacturers, making them better for sporty driving. Compared to the diesel engine, the lower initial cost is a great advantage for the petrol car. This lower cost is due to the simpler engine design that the petrol engine has, which in itself is an advantage, as the maintenance and repair costs are smaller. Petrol engines tend to be quieter and smoother, which makes them perfect for driving around the city. Just like the diesel engines, petrol engines have their own disadvantages. The biggest one is fuel efficiency. It is a known fact that a petrol engine uses more fuel than a diesel engine, around 20 to 30% more. Petrol engines tend to also wear out quicker than diesel ones due to their simpler design and lower maintenance cost. And finally, don't count on towing something heavy with a petrol engine. In general, you won't get the same power as diesel engines. So can you call yourself a car guy if you own a diesel? Of course you can. The type of engine you have on your car does not dictate your passion for the automotive world. It all comes down to preference and, most of all, needs. What do you need your car for? If you are someone who drives long distances, needs a car for towing, or does a lot of highway driving, a diesel is the only logical option for you. On the other hand, if you are more into city driving, want something easy to maintain, don't mind spending a bit more on fuel, and want a higher performance with that high revving engine, petrol is definitely the choice for you. So, there you have it, an age-old question answered. You can now go and let your petrol head friend know that your diesel car will more than likely outlast his. Let us know in the comments which one you prefer and why. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content like this.